Did the Lakers just lose every kind of contention of making a trade to move off of Westbrook now that Donovan Mitchell is the Cleveland Cavalier? I think so. This one's going to hurt, but are the Cleveland Cavaliers one of the front runners for the Eastern Conference? Yes, I believe so. They actually just traded. They gave away the entire farm to Utah Jazz. Everybody thought the Jazz was going to play with the Knicks and do a three-teamer with the Lakers, and that was going to happen, and then boom, everything changes. That's why I love the NBA. We're going to break down this trade. We're also going to talk, are the Lakers screwed now? I am your NBA white guy. I talk all things NBA hoops from a hooper's perspective. And if you like that kind of content, then make sure you tap that subscribe button and you click the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. Now, I'm reading this just about as fast as you are, and it was reported by Woj, but it looks like the Cavs have now acquired the Jazz's star Donovan Mitchell in a trade, and it also includes Cleveland sending Utah 3 unprotected first-round picks and 2 pick swaps for the deal. So 5 picks in total. These guys are cleaning house on picks. They're literally going to be the only team in the draft, I think, in the next few years. But I thought that with a 3-team trade with the Lakers, Utah Jazz, and bringing in Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks, that something was going to happen. This obviously means that with Spida off the deal, I think he went to the Cleveland Cavaliers, and that is a championship contending team. They are so freaking deep. You've got Darius Garland. You still kept Colin Sexton. The great thing is Cleveland didn't give up any of their assets. You've got Kevin Love in that locker room, and you might be like, Kevin Love is old. Yes, but he is that vet presence that has won championships, and he understands how to get these players. He had a big transition 2 years ago from punching the ball and yelling at his teammates to actually being the top, cheerleader, the top vet. He is somebody who's going to keep their mind straight going down the stretch. I like this team better than Atlanta. You also have Jarrett Allen. You got Seti. Now you got in Donovan Mitchell, Spida. This team is super deep. You still have Rubio. You got a lot of vets. You got a lot of young talent. They're going to go super deep in the East. But did this just screw the Lakers? I don't think there's any viable trade left. You got to comment down below. What is left for the Lakers to do? This does leave my favorite trade option still on the table, but I don't think Utah will do it, except now that they got all these picks from Cleveland, they got all of the picks for Rudy Gobert, and the Lakers still have some picks. Now they can go in and get Bogdonovich, which I love. I think he is the steal if we can get him, because he is a very confident player. When it comes down to playing, putting on the purple and gold, sitting next to LeBron James, last year, every player lacked confidence. We've seen a lot of younger players do that, but once they accept their role and they really get, into that LeBron James offense, they're going to get a lot more open shots. They can have career years. Bogdanovich is a dude who's going to come in. He is a walking bucket. He can get you 20, 30 on a given night, but he's not looking to have the ball in his hands 24/7. He knows his role. He knows that he can go out there in the following year and get the bag if he has a career year. So if players are smart, they will come join LeBron and they will have their career years. But Westbrook isn't doing that. He is so hard-headed. He still thinks he can do it his way, and it's obviously not working. Honestly, if he came off the bench, it would be the greatest thing ever, but it's not happening. So what do the Lakers got to do now to be title contenders? They have got to move off of Westbrook. I'm telling you right now, it's not working with him and Pat Bev. No matter how hard they work on their relationship, there's just no shooting. There's no confidence there. You're not scared of Pat Bev shooting. Yes, he can hit the three at a high level, but it's not a guy that you're really terrified torching you on a night-out, night-in basis. So we've got to get some shooters. Somehow, if the Knicks will let go of Cam Reddish for, I don't even know, because do you give a pick for Cam Reddish? And Bogdanovich, you do. You can get him in, maybe get a Clarkson. Now that Utah got all of these picks, they've got 4 or 5 for Gobert. They got 5 from Cleveland. If they get 1, maybe some second rounders from the Lakers. They have so much draft capital that they may be willing to move off some of those bigger contracts, like getting rid of Conley. So Conley's another dude who brings in a very tough man, competitive balance, but it's another point guard. That's the only problem. I like tall dudes. You got to get some wing shooters. We got to get people stretching the defense out. Bogdanovich can come off of screens and hit shots in his face. So that stuff, if you're going to do 4 out, 1 in, you got to have people moving. And you also, we're covered in the center position. So, I love having Damian Jones, these dudes. We've got to make a trade now. I think is really the only thing left. Maybe trying to get a Cam Reddish, getting a Bogdanovich. These are 6'8", 6'9" dudes who can play defense, who can shoot threes, who can stretch the defense, and that is what the Lakers need. And if they can move off of Westbrook and allow Pat Bev to be, who he is, which is tiring down and wearing down that best player. Everybody want to look at Pat Bev. He's just this annoyance, and he's gets his hands on balls. What he does is so important. When you get it and you watch it from a hooper's perspective, he's really wearing down that star. He's done this with Westbrook. He's done this with Steph Curry. That is tough. All game long, I remember playing, through college, and when you got that target on your back, guys are coming at you. They're coming at you hard, and you get frustrated, man. You're not getting calls. You start getting out of the game mentally. That's what Pat Bev can do. But if he's having to share minutes with Westbrook, it's just not going to work out. And the only question remaining now is really with the Lakers and who they can trade for. But real quick, let's talk about this. I want you guys to vote down below. Who do you feel would win in a Eastern Conference showdown? Now, I'm still loving Milwaukee, Philly if James Harden does his thing. But Cleveland Cavaliers now with the Spider-Man, that is a super deep team. Very nasty. Who wins in a 7-game series between the Brooklyn Nets and the Cleveland Cavaliers? All health is there, and with those teams right now, I really think Cleveland, and especially after last season, watching the game plan that the Celtics did, I think every team's going to adapt that, and they're going to play Kevin Durant with 2-3 dudes and not even let him shoot. So that's something with all of the length that the Cleveland Cavaliers have. And now you got Spida and Sexton, and you got Rubio. This is old school Rubio, but you still got your big dudes with Jarrett Allen, Garland. Man, that is a super dangerous team. Comment down below and vote. Who do you think now owns the East? And what the heck, Lakers? Pelinka, Genie Bus, you got to pull a magic rabbit out of the hat right now. We got to get some kind of trade, or this season, it's over. And I really don't want to see that in year 20 for LeBron, for him to just go through another season of disappointment and heartache and head slouching. We got to get something in there. I really am not big on the Westbrook and the Pat Bev backcourt. So if you're going to do it, Darvin Ham, you got to probably pull one of them dudes off the bench. And we got to get Kendrick Nunn starting, or we got to get Austin Reeves starting, because if AD wants to play the 4, that means we got a 5, a big man out there, and that leaves 2 spots. Oh my gosh, Hoopers. What are the Lakers going to do? The trade, you guys got to comment down below what is left for the Lakers. I've heard McDermott and Richardson trades. I'm not as big of a fan. Getting some of those are dudes I would love to just sign, as vets. But, if we're going to trade now, we need somebody more like a Bogdanovich to come in, and maybe even Clarkston, dudes who can get buckets. So this is, where we're at right now. If you're coaching, I'm telling Darvin Ham, you know what? If we want to win, we got to get Kendrick Nunn and Austin Reeves starting out here, and maybe, Pat Bev as well. But that is going to be a lineup that's going to be very tricky to work with. Darvin Ham, I give you my best, bro. I am your NBA white guy. I talk all things NBA hoops from a hooper's perspective. So make sure you're tapping that subscribe button and clicking the bell so you're notified every time I do a new video. And until the next video, my homies, we'll catch you later.